At the very beginning of the month, on the 1st of January, the recently mentioned YouTube competitor that is Mevue, that obviously failed, actually launched, and it's worse than expected. So, for those that don't remember, as this campaign is no longer visible, Mevue was a website started simply because a YouTube member lost his monetization status. The campaign obviously failed, but the website, well, yeah, here it is. For the most part, videos simply just do not work on the front page, but the more you play about with it, you will find a weird way in the back end to try and get them to play, all of which have almost no views at all, mainly because the community on the website is minuscule at best. But hey, if you want to charge almost zero traffic to watch your content on a monthly basis or a per video basis, then of course, Mevue is for you. Well, actually, you can do that on YouTube and all of the other big platforms too, so I really don't see the point in this one at all. On the 5th of January, Dragonball Z fans rejoiced as a miniatures board game of sorts was put up onto Kickstarter, and as you would expect, the money came flooding in thick and fast. However, if we look on KickTrack, only 3 days later, a crazy amount of pledgers decided to cancel their bids. Why? Because it was announced in an update after all of the backers came in that it would not be shipping to European or American shores. Did everyone from these locations get the message? Well, honestly, that's unlikely, and it did hit its goal, meaning that if you did back it and didn't see the notification, you are almost guaranteed not to be getting your rewards on this particular campaign, as it was a success. Hey there guys, I'm Daniel Robertson, aka DJ Slope from Slope's Game Room, and this is KickSCAMMER News for the month of January 2020. This is my monthly roundup show where I look at everything on the sites such as Indiegogo, Kickstarter and GoFundMe, of course. And yeah, let's get right into it, right now. Oh, for God's sake. Don't you hate it when this happens? Seriously, this sort of thing happens with me on every single video before I upload. However, thankfully, Filmora9 are here to help with this very video. Filmora9 is designed for beginners and it's super easy to use. I get people asking me how I learned to edit the way that I do, and honestly, if you are a beginner, Filmora9 is without a doubt going to be the easiest to get to grips with anybody starting a YouTube gaming channel. And thanks to me, it's free to try. Link below. Import your clips, add split screens, elements, effects, transitions, titles. Seriously, the amount of free to use preset effects on offer is pretty damn impressive. I especially like the animated transitions that literally you just drag down between two clips, drop them in, and boom, you're done. Like I said, I'm actually using these transitions in this very video, so keep an eye out. On top of this, one of the best features discovered whilst browsing around the software is the hardcore simplicity of recording soundovers, your webcam with instant green screen removal if that's your thing, and the ability to capture high quality gameplay literally at the push of a button. Normally this takes several pieces of software to do all of this, which is why this is perfect for people starting out. It's all here. Plus, if you're looking for some more cool audio, image, footage and After Effects, you can go to Filmora's online stock library, Film Stocks, to download all of the assets that you could possibly want. Many thanks for hearing me out, guys. Keep an eye out on the transitions used in this very video, and if you do click that link down below in the description, you'll also be helping the show too. Thanks Filmora9 for supporting the show. So, here's something that was recently quite successful. The Zanko Tiny T2 is the world's smallest 3G phone. What's the point in all of this? Well, it's not for me. I don't know. However, there is quite an interesting story behind this whole thing when you dig a little deeper. You see, 802 backers did fund this thing to the tune of $61,024 after it was launched on January the 7th, but what's wrong with it? Well, not much at the moment, although when you do dig deeper on this particular project, it does indeed ring a few alarm bells. I actually reached out to an anonymous source close to the company's earlier model and got the scoop on the previous rendition of this very phone. The T1, which was actually smaller, although it had less features, as you can see, it was also successful. Quite a bit more successful, actually, and the reason for that was actually because of the Department of Justice. You see, these guys actually helped spread the word by kicking off about this project publicly, claiming that it could be used illegally in prisons. This obviously actually blew up the campaign, with it popping up on sites all over the internet, as well as a bit of national news too, which obviously helped the project, and that's when trouble started brewing behind the scenes. You see, the people behind this campaign was working with a company called Club It New Media. In fact, you can see their name right here on the first campaign. And these guys originally asked for a reasonable percentage of the final amount earned to help promote it. This is all pretty standard stuff, in all honesty, guys, for most big crowdfunded projects. But now that it is far surpassing expectations, they wanted to more than double the amount that they originally asked for. This basically started an internal war, with the main guy behind it trying to get deals with various high street shops and mobile phone outlets, and even disagreeing with the manufacturers over in China, who, by the way, actually did finish all of the phones needed to fulfill all of the backers and then some. But agreements just could not be met across the board in any cases, which was when refunds started to be dished out. But they were only 60% refunds being given to the backers, and they were done on a timed basis, basically meaning that if you missed your chance to get a refund on a project you probably completely lost faith in, then you are out of luck. No refund for you. And just to rub even more salt into the wounds, to get the money back they lost, Zanko are publicly selling these things on Amazon and random other places online too. Thanks, backers! Now, in all fairness, the main man behind it did actually do another campaign on his own this time, thankfully, which, by the way, actually looks to have been a success. But more importantly for this episode, he is back again selling version 2 of a phone that nobody who backed it in the first place actually got one, unless they double dipped and bought it over on Amazon. On the 9th of January, PC Gamer put out an article with some hands-on experience with the Atari VCS, and guys, they might as well have not bothered. You see, besides chatting about a unique build of Antstream, which is essentially, in case you didn't know, a Netflix service for mostly European games, and I assume plenty more Atari games too because of this collaboration, it also showed off a sandbox mode, aka a Windows 10 mode. This is a feature apparently, guys, meaning that you can play Fortnite on it if you want. This is something that they actually promote in that particular article, and it's just utterly pointless, considering the price of this thing, which in most cases is actually more expensive than the average console, which can also play Fortnite, as well as plenty of other games too, which this system simply just does not have. Again, expect to see my full breakdown on this whole Atari VCS mess as and when and if it ever comes out. In more obscure news, a United States military academy student launched a GoFundMe called Help Bring Diamond Foxx to YWW, which is West Point's yearling winter weekend held at Service Academy in upstate New York. Okay, so yeah, we know this, but who's Diamond Foxx? So Diamond Foxx is a porn star, and a very good porn star too, so I'm told. And yeah, basically this whole campaign was created because she said she would go to YWW with him if he paid for her hotel and her flight. And yeah, it started to do really well. That was until higher ranking members suggested that he removed the campaign, and that's why you can no longer see it. Now, if you'll excuse me. So here's a pretty good one for the show. Basically on the 12th of January, a GoFundMe was created after a car was stolen and scrapped. The guy was apparently quite well known within certain anime communities, and although the campaign is yet again gone, he did raise a small but decent amount of money in order to get another car, or I don't really know what he was after with this particular campaign. The reason why he was so well known within these particular communities is, well, just look at the car. If you ask me, it's a bit of an eyesore, but hey, you know, each to their own. But the real big thing here is why? Why is the campaign gone? Well, it's because of this particular video. Yep, praise the car gods, as Jesse would say, because it's back. Long story short, it wasn't stolen or scrapped, but instead it was taken from the bank due to missed payments and was going up for auction. All of this guy's social media accounts and of course the GoFundMe itself was taken down shortly after this evidence was leaked. Remember that couple from last month's episode of KICKSCAMMER News that wanted you guys to help pay for their Christmas? No? Well, besides their own families shouting out and saying that the public shouldn't donate it because the dad will just spend it all on drugs, which he obviously denied, that's kinda the whole story. However, on January the 13th, it was reported that the couple actually split shortly after Christmas because Jenny, the mum, was unhappy with the fundraising plot that Ryan had set up. And before you start feeling sorry for Jenny, it was actually her own mum that stated they spent it on clothes for the kids, a big tattoo for Jen, drink and drugs, and they also used the money to take them to see Frozen 2. So come on, I suppose it ain't all that bad. Are you someone that thinks cat litter trays are ugly? No. Are you someone that wishes they could spend $100 on a litter tray? No. Then Cove the modern litter box is for you. It's got a pooper scooper and a dustpan and brush built in and f*** all else. Did I mention that it's only $100 plus postage and packaging? What the And the 1,499 backers pledged a combined total of $167,735 to get one, making it a roaring success. On the 15th of January, a brand new Kickstarter popped up based within the world of Red Dead Redemption 2 called The Divine 9. And yes guys, I am a backer of this one. Come on, it's never going to hit its target. I do this sort of crap all the time for you guys. So in all fairness, these kind of things happen all of the time in the world of Sims and definitely Grand Theft Auto, and this, well, to be fair, it actually does look very well made for the right kind of person. And it should be pretty good as it takes inspiration from all of those numbered cowboy flicks, again, if this sort of thing is for you, which it definitely isn't for me. And I think I'm pretty safe, guys, because I am the second backer. If you haven't seen my GoFundMe KickSCAMMER video about the homeless guy that gave his last amount of money to a girl that had broken down on the side of the road and the whole thing became a scam, then you should definitely watch it because there's been an update. Some of my better work, by the way, if you ask me. Yeah, like I said, I've got an update for you. Firstly, Mark DeMaco, the guy behind the scam who helped raise $400,000 on GoFundMe, well, on the 16th of January, he pleaded not guilty to federal charges. However, he has also pleaded guilty in state court for the misapplication of entrusted property. So, regardless of how his not guilty plea ends up, the guy is going to serve at least 5 years in prison. There really isn't any updates on the now ex-girlfriend. However, the homeless guy, he's disappeared. No, seriously, no one can find him. Are you interested in being eaten by giant toads, giant snakes, giant dinosaurs, giant crocodiles, anything like that? Then you probably are unknowingly into the vore fetish. According to dictionary.com, vore is a fetish involving being eaten by or eating someone or something, real or imaginary. Well, now that you're into this, you probably are pretty upset with the fact that you missed out on the popular Kickstarter called Cretaceous Seas, which is essentially a half-naked, animated, incredibly well animated, I must say, 2D platformer, I think? Honestly, guys, the actual gameplay and how this game will actually play is so secondary to the people that just want to see some hot naked chick get eaten by some giant creatures. In fact, the campaign did so well that a survey for a completed stretch goal was added where the artist will draw a comic book, and if you're wondering, the results of this comic survey was a snake scene. 37% of people wanted to see a well-drawn lady getting eaten by a giant snake, 32% wanted to see her get eaten by a giant frog, and of course in third place at only 23%, a giant crocodile. Makes sense to me. The project is now after even more money to reach further stretch goals with its second campaign over on Indiegogo. Anybody that's been part of my Discord over the last month or so will have heard all about Temtem. If you're a fan of open world Pokemon inspired RPGs, then this is probably the game for you. This isn't a new game, in fact it's actually completed its funding back in July of 2018 when 11,716 backers got it all the way up to $573,939. However, on the 21st of January, it released an early access build to the general public, and the response has been pretty much completely positive. And if this is your thing, I highly suggest going to check it out. It's done pretty well, so good job on this one, guys. On the 23rd of January, Star Wars video game fans rejoice as a new game made its way onto Kickstarter. Oh, it's a Roblox game. However, it did hit its goal. It needed £10,000 and it got £11,061. Although I got to say, £11,061 by only 13 backers? Something's not right here, guys. The campaign was cancelled by the campaign owner, one Peter Froy. Here he is on his only other campaign asking for a small £2,500 to teach you how to become a professional photographer. And this too was successful, gaining, what, £41,399 by 114 backers before it was suspended by Kickstarter itself. And the comment section filled up with people kicking off, stating that their accounts had been hacked as they had unknowingly supported this campaign. Never back this project, what is wrong with you? Are you stealing people's information? I can see why your Roblox thing got cancelled now, probably Peter because you was the only backer. In some genuinely pretty awesome news, a brand new game made its way over onto Kickstarter called Laser. Sure, it looks like it's been spelt by a character-capped Nokia 3310 MMS. However, the game itself is actually pretty damn good looking. These sort of games are so incredibly addictive to me, I just can't get enough of them. If this looks up your street, I highly suggest checking out Laser. Whether you're a fan of Invader or Banksy, if you live in Arizona, you probably like another pretty big graffiti artist, the infamous Penis Man. Penis Man, in case you didn't know, is a graffiti artist who has been winding up the feds of Arizona by quite literally spraying the words Penis Man all over the city. It's been a tough time for the coppers, but they finally caught him, and on the 26th of January, Penis Man, aka Dustin Schomer, set up a GoFundMe so that you could help pay for his legal fees, as he currently resides in prison on 16 counts of aggravated criminal damage, 8 counts of criminal damage, and 1 count of criminal trespassing in the first degree. I'm broke and have lost my job. I need help with legal fees to defend myself against Temp PD. I've got bad PTSD and I've had an AR-15 in my face 2 days ago. That shit was real scary. Poor old Penis Man, am I right? And now for my recommendations of the month. The first one goes out to the incredible looking Battle Axe. It's a game sort of like Gauntlet and a little bit like Golden Axe 2, which basically ticks all of the right boxes for me. And if you go and look in the rewards, you can pick up a physical copy on the Switch for only 25 quid. Well worth it if you ask me. It recently hit its goal and my god does it look good. As does Pico's excellent looking game, which by the way is actually coming to the Mega Drive. I mean, how could I not mention this one, guys? And in case you didn't know, Pico Interactive are a company that I have had the pleasure of working with in the past. There's plenty of other similar YouTubers that I know have worked with in the past, and they're a very reputable company. And even though this particular game is already a success, you can still back it by using the pre-order that's on their website, which I highly recommend that you do, especially if you're also into the NES, as this is being released physically for that system too. Hey there guys, thanks for checking out this episode of KICKSCAMMER News. It's actually turned out to be quite an interesting month. January is normally a bit of a quieter month over on places like Kickstarter, Indiegogo and GoFundMe. I've already got some incredible stories for next month, including all of that, crazy, wonderful 101 stuff. And, there's quite a lot that I've already got backed up. So if you're not subscribed already, please do hit the subscribe, hit that notification bell if you want to be notified as and when I upload new videos. And like I said guys, thanks for checking out the show. If you want to become a Patreon or a YouTube member, which I highly recommend you do, because these guys get to see videos like this one early, they get to be part of fortnightly discussions that we upload on my second channel, and plenty of other incredible perks, then there'll be links down below in the description for that too. Anyway, let's give an extra big shout out to the following Patreons: Gary Pinkett, Ryan Burford, Andrew Dalton, Jonathan Hayward, Ben Jackson, Kevin King, Christopher Turnbull, Richard Alderjick, That Lost Gamer, Shadow Dial, Ryan Holtz, Dina Robertson Dunn, Intrigued Gaming, Adam Lefty Taylor, Roven Army, Asobi Quang DX, Tim Lunn, The Geeky Dad, Pretendo 64, Conrad Constantine, Retro to Next Gen, Creamy Elephant, Tim Labonte, Kinglink Reviews, RL Slane, Friendly, Shadow Dragon, Chris Applin, Wobbles and Bean, The Wonder Ducks, Jim Knapp, Game Apologist, Dan Petit, Lucas Softail, Ye Old Hamburglar, Ronnie Method, SSWB, Solex Captor, Jeremy Rodriguez, Nick Pollard, Bram Perez, Marcus Kingamo Cut Tyndall, Richard Carter aka Fantastic Dizzy, Todd Paul Float G, Petty New, Bewright, Transrights and Samuel Nilsson. Like I said guys, if you want to get your name shown like these awesome guys here and get your or get your name shouted out, then yeah, go and click those links down below. It really does help the show, and well, I'll think you're a little bit cooler if you do it. No, I'm not becoming that scammy. But yeah, anyway, guys, let's move on. And I've got a big KickSCAMMER episode hopefully coming for the next weekend as well. So yeah, thanks guys, and hopefully I'll see you all next time.